Peace, guys. It's me, Arlene J. Ramsey, CEO and founder of Everyone Let's Talk, also your favorite self-wealth mentor. So, on this segment, we're going to talk BET, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. We're just going to have fun today. Starting right off, I do readings now. I've added this to my repertoire. My readings have been so informative, so succinct, so shocking, just everything. I can't sit here and tell you guys with what some of my readings are about because that will be disclosing personal information on people. However, it's spirituality is just something to definitely cherish, not take for granted. There's a lot of people who need help, and there's not enough of us who are out here that are able to help people who need help. All right, so just letting you know that if you guys require a reading, you need a reading, just hit me up. I'm going to have my contact information in the information box. I'll give you what my price are. Very reasonable. As I said again, very well-rounded approach. Very positive approach to life as well. All right, so now let's moving right along. Happy for Cardi B that she has won her Grammy. All right. Cardi has worked hard for what she has. We cannot take that away from Cardi B. All right. Of course, everybody's getting on BET. BET is being dragged, right? So I'm just not going to go in that angle. What I'm just going to say here is that whoever is the social media handle for BET, I don't think they understand the importance of business or how to move from a business perspective. And I don't think they understood how, BET as a network should play an unbiased role. They should never participate in showing biases towards any artist because that is a network whose business is tailored around forming alliances and keeping good rapport with artists. So showing a bias or disrespecting any artist is 9 times out of 10 not going to be a good look for any network, not just BET, any network. That's just not a good look. All right. And I truly believe that if Nicki Minaj did not say that she was pulling out of the BET experience, they may not have apologized for it, because we're going back to here where it's been taught to the world that it's okay for the black woman to be disrespected and not get any retribution for it, or not be protected for it, not have anyone speak speak up for the black woman, and you guys act like the black woman is crazy when we speak in this way. But time and time again, there are instances in life which shows and prove exactly why the black woman appears to be the angry black woman. All right, so let's get on into why Nicki Minaj, because some people think that Nicki Minaj is a hater and she doesn't like the fact she doesn't like competition, or doesn't like the fact that Cardi B is here. That's not the fact. Nicki Minaj doesn't care about that. As a matter of fact, she always said that she wanted all women to prosper and more women to get into the rap game. I want you guys to remember that when Nicki Minaj got into the rap game, we weren't hearing from female hip-hop artists. So Nicki Minaj doesn't have the power to stop anyone's bag. All right? Let's start with that. But 2, the problem with this is that in the entertainment business, they have this culture where they think that it's okay to put a cap on a woman's existence in the entertainment business. And they also give themselves too much power and too much credit for them being the reason to forcing that woman out. Them being the one to say, okay, enough is enough and it's time for her to go. When that's not how life is. Because in the world, what's the saying? We get better with time. Wine is finer with time, right? So why is it when it comes to human beings, women in particular, and then black women in particular to that it's okay to put a cap on when a black woman can be progressive and then when she should be X'd out of the picture? So what Nicki Minaj is doing, which has nothing to do with Cardi B and everything to do with the machine, is letting them know that you don't have the right to do that to me. She's not done growing. She's not done with her work. You know, human beings act like they're God. You don't know what purpose Nicki Minaj has. You don't know what Nicki Minaj is set to do in the next couple of years. You're not God. You can't speak existence over another human being's life and think that it's okay. And that's what Nicki Minaj is fighting. But again, what people see is the attitude and the backlash from Nicki Minaj. But what they don't see is what's going on behind the scenes. The other reason why Nicki Minaj has this attitude is that when I look at the comments, too often you guys say that you cannot relate to Nicki Minaj and you say her music is trash, right? Nicki Minaj likes to have fun. The other thing is that I have all of her albums except for Roman Reloaded. And even on Roman Reloaded, she has some good songs. If you listen to Nicki Minaj's albums, you would see that she has some very thought-provoking songs. So I always wonder, what are you guys listening to when you say that her music is trash? What are you listening to? Do you listen to her albums? You know, are you on YouTube? Like, what are you listening to and what are you gauging? The other thing is that because you don't like her lyrics, because a lot of you say you cannot relate to her lyrics, and we're going to get on that. Because you can't relate to her lyrics, you also refuse to listen to her technique and her skill. Her skill and technique for a female is unparalleled right now. There's not another artist that can do it the way Nicki Minaj does it. And not saying that there should be, but what I'm saying is that her style is going to go down in history. And when I say her style, I'm talking about her technique, her delivery, her flows. That's what I'm talking about. So the next thing that the world has been saying is that Nicki Minaj stole Lil Kim's whole style. You know, she paid homage to Lil Kim, and this is the last time I'm going to say it. But her taking those photos and dressing similar to Lil Kim is similar to saying, you know, I respect you. So she's the type of person that says, I can show you better than I can tell you. But the world doesn't see that. The other reasoning for her attitude is radio VJs. You guys are just listening to, you're picking and choosing the songs that you want to play. And the songs that you're picking and choosing to play and talk about are usually not her most lyrical songs. And radio, you guys that are on radio, part of your job should be to dissect an album and to listen to an artist's body of work and talk about different aspects of that artist, which is reflected in their body of work. And you guys have not been doing that with Nicki Minaj for years. So what happens is that you help contribute to the narrative that's out there about Nicki Minaj, and it is not true. If you listen to her entire body of work, you would see that Nicki is pretty much well-rounded. Okay? Now, I love Cardi B. I love that her background, she came from being a stripper, but what I'm not liking, what I'm seeing with the world, and I'm going to say this, and again, it's because Cardi B is not really a black woman. Her father's Dominican. You guys are going to say, well, Dominicans are, you know, they have black in them, whatever you want to say, but she's not a direct African American or a direct black woman. All right. Here's why I say that. You give Cardi B this level of respect for coming up because she was a stripper. And that's all I hear people say about Cardi B. She was a stripper and she came up and she made it. People dogged her out and all this other stuff. But you know what? Eve was a stripper too. Amber Rose was a stripper too. And look what Amber Rose have become. You don't show Amber Rose and Eve the same respect that you show Cardi B. Why is that? And Amber Rose is a light-skinned black woman, right? Eve is also, you know, fair in complexion. But the fact that they are directly considered to be black women also is what is the thing that causes people to take away from their work, to take away from their essence, or not give them the respect and props that they deserve for their work and their essence. So the things that I hear you say about Cardi B, I can always go back in my memory and pick another woman who came from that type of background that you guys don't show that level of respect and love for. And at some point, you're going to have to sit with yourself and realize the hypocrisy of everything that comes out of your mouth and what you allow to move you passionately about a person. All right. So when Nicki Minaj has an attitude, it's not that she's not a likable person. It's that she's listening to a lot of what people are saying. And it's like, wow, if you're saying you're not giving yourself the opportunity to know who I am, because all of these things that you're saying clearly tells me that you don't buy my music and you don't listen to my music. So you really don't know me. The other thing that makes a person relatable are their decisions. Okay, so when you listen to Cardi B, when I listen to Cardi B sounds like the typical girl from the block who dated the guy who was a hoe. He was with X, Y, and Z. She was the type of chick that would fight another chick over a dude, slash a dude's tire, get the knife and cut his car, all those types of things, key up his car, all those kind of things. So you guys can relate to that because that's the same type of lifestyle that you lived, right? You made those same decisions. That's what make a person relatable, is their decisions, whether you relate to them or not. All right. Nicki doesn't speak in that way because in her mind, she thinks that she's above certain things. So she's not making decisions that's going to degrade her or force her to do things in a way that she will embarrass herself. So she's not dating guys, openly dating guys that she knows that's out here messing around with different girls and allowing that to happen. Now, she talked about Safari cheating on her and she found out about those things and him spending up her credit card with other women. She didn't put that in a rap lyric though, because she feels like she's above that. But it's not that she didn't experience that. In her mind, it's like, who the hell do you think you are? And on top of that, you know what? I want absolutely nothing to do with you. But she probably doesn't want to give light to that type of energy. When it comes to disrespecting the person that you lay with, that you say that you care about, she could care less to give that type of energy light. So you find her not relatable because she's not making the same similar decisions as you. But you relate to Cardi B because those are the things that you do. But I challenge you. I challenge you to challenge yourself. If a person is not relatable, does that mean that they doesn't have anything good or of value to say to you? Just because you can't relate to their ideologies doesn't mean that they don't have anything good to say, or their art isn't good, their music isn't good. When you look at certain things that you buy, artwork that you put in your house, furniture, do you relate to all of these things that you buy? Or is it that you just happen to take a liking to someone else's ideology? You like it and you buy it and you put it there, right? See, when it comes to human beings, you guys don't leave enough leeway for understanding the different aspects and variations of an individual. We're different. Complexity is very real, and those are the things that women in the industry battle with. And women, it's disheartening to read comments that's coming from women in which you guys are allowing the world and society to force you to conform to the ideology that you are no good after a certain period of time. And I want you to really sit with yourself and understand where some of your hostility comes from. Some of the reason why you can't be nice to another woman is because you have accepted what society told you to accept about yourself. And you feel like you cannot beat the system. Therefore, I am going to make someone else's life a living hell because I cannot beat a system that tells me that I'm no good after a certain period of time. So when you see Nicki acting in a certain way and she's being attacked, the first thing that's going to come to her mind is basic instinct, which stems from laws of nature. The first law of nature is self-preservation. So basic instinct of self-preservation is going to kick in, and that's that thing that says, no, who do they think they are? I'm not going to allow them to do that to me. The other thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is the entertainment industry is actually forcing one look or one way. So when you look at who they allowed to come up next and get all the attention is Cardi B. There are like Young M.A., there are other Rock, there are other female hip hop artists that's out there that they're not signing. But they signed Cardi B because Cardi B, the masses love sex appeal. So they want someone who appeals to that sex appeal. What they're also saying is that the rest of women who don't embody that don't matter. They're not important and they don't matter. Because the only type of image that you're pushing is a Nicki and a Cardi B. And that's not right. And that is, Cardi has no power over that, nor does Nicki Minaj has any power over that. That's the industry that's doing that, because there are other artists out there with great talent and who they can sign and start to push. And that's not a good business move. But they only seem to do that with minority women. Why? Why? And those are the things that I need you guys to start focusing on. Don't get so caught up into the energy and the drama and the rumors, and you rolling with the flow of the drama and the rumors. Because what happens is now you becomes an agent, and you become a contributor or a helper into helping the wrongdoer execute their plans. And you don't even realize it. You're an agent and you don't even know it. You don't know it. The other thing I want to talk about is your feminist movement. Not the Me Too movement, or your feminist movement of women talking about equality and, if I do a job a man do, I should get paid the same type of dollar a man get paid. And all of this respect that women, especially women of color, are saying that they deserve. I want you to know that your movement will never be as respected and as powerful if you continue to fold and conform to what society says about you. If you continue to bash other women and think that it's okay for, Nicki's phasing out, she had her time, this, that, and the third, and that's not really the case. How could you say she's phasing out is beyond me. All right. But if you continue to give into that type of energy and into that type of narrative, your movement of how you think that women should be treated will not be respected, because the world understands that your argument or your protest is one-dimensional, and it's coming from a very small perspective, and that's the perspective of me. That's it. It's coming from a perspective of me. You haven't taken the time to sit here and really look at all the women that are in this world that have different ideologies, different looks, different heights, different shapes, different colors. You haven't given that any thought and say, how am I going to lay a comfortable space for all of these women that who exist to feel comfortable to be around me and radiate around me? And until you become that woman, your movement will be a joke. It will continue to be a joke. And I'm saying your movement, and I'm not a part of it, although I'm a woman, because I think from a perspective of all, and let's include everyone, and I want to understand everyone, right? So I respect Cardi B, and I want to see Cardi B do well. However, Nicki Minaj, I expect Nicki Minaj to stay. So let me give you a reason why. If you think Nicki Minaj's numbers are dropping, here's why. All right. So for years, there's only been Nicki Minaj. So like anything, a new artist come in, people at some point are going to shift directions and get into this new artist because they want to know who she is, know more about her, listen to her music, jam to her. Because yeah, it's been Nicki Minaj for a long time. So now someone else is here. You want to jam to Cardi B for a while. That doesn't mean that Nicki Minaj is going to forever lose her fan base. It's like anything else. If your parents have been buying you vanilla ice cream all the time, you like ice cream and you like vanilla ice cream, what you're going to do? You're going to eat it because the vanilla ice cream is there. Let your mom switch it up and start bringing home vanilla, caramel, and butter pecan ice cream. What you're going to do is leave the vanilla ice cream alone for a while, and you're going to indulge in the other two flavors because you've had your fill with vanilla ice cream for right now. And the other two flavors are here. You have options, other options. You're going to indulge in that. And then when you get tired of indulging in just those two flavors, what you will start to do is even balance back out the scale. And now you're going to pick and choose. You're going to divvy up how you're going to have ice cream now. So you might have vanilla ice cream on Monday, and on Tuesday you may have butter pecan, and then on Wednesday you may have caramel. Thursday you may not have none. So I say this to say that if Nicki Minaj's numbers are dropping a little bit, and they're focusing on Cardi B, it's because the world have been saturated with Nicki Minaj. Now they want to have fun with Cardi B. It doesn't mean that Nicki Minaj is going to forever lose her fan base. But I say again, it's disheartening to read comments and listen to women who are quick to say, oh, Nicki, let's get Nicki out of here. Meanwhile, Nicki represents a woman that likes to have fun. You guys think hip hop should be all about anger and, disrespecting other people and all this other stuff, but we can have fun as well. The other thing is Nicki Minaj's lyrics are very complex, and I've said this before. In order for you to really understand and grasp what she's saying, you really have to, write some things down and then go do some research about the things that she's referencing in her songs in order for you to understand what she's saying. But too often the black community see things from a one-dimensional perspective, and which means that you only want to listen to music. You can only enjoy and jam to music that speaks a language that you live. If you don't live what they're speaking, you don't want to listen to it, right? Well, what about aspiring to doing more in life and living a better life and growing in life? What about aspiring to do that? So I'm 42 years old. Okay, let me go back to the Cardi B. I can understand Cardi B. I don't relate to her, but I understand where she's coming from, right? Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about when I say Nicki thinks she's above certain things. I'm 42 years old. I graduated from high school in 1994. When I was in the 9th grade, I was dating a guy at high school. He was in the 11th grade. He had this 49er jacket. I used to bother him to wear this jacket. He would never lend it to me. One day, a friend of mine from the 3rd grade, we've known each other since 3rd grade, she was wearing his jacket to school, and I'm like, okay. I automatically knew she had to have sex with him if she's wearing his jacket, because he never let me wear the jacket. All of a sudden, she pulls me to the side to have this conversation, to tell me that she's dating him and everything. And let me tell you, I was embarrassed because everybody knew that he used to come pick me up after school. They used to see us walking up the hill together. And then all of a sudden, he's coming to pick her up. I was embarrassed. And I was a fighter when I was younger. I didn't fight her because I refused. I thought I was too good. And let me tell you how true this is. You know how many fights I've got into in elementary school? You have no idea how many fights I've gotten into, but I've never fought over a boy. I thought I was too good to fight another girl over a boy. If he doesn't want to be with me, he doesn't want to be with me. But why would I fight a girl? What is that going to do? It's not going to change and make him decide to date me. And beating up another girl because he likes her over me or wants to date her over me, I thought it was ludicrous. I'm telling you, at a young age, I thought things like that was ludicrous. I couldn't see me keying up a guy's car, slashing a guy's tires. I couldn't see me dating and being continuously being involved with a man or with men who would cheat on me and have other women in his life in my face and embarrass me. So although I understand where Cardi B is coming from, I'm more like Nicki Minaj. I'm pompous. I'm too good for that shit. You can't do that to me and think that I'm going to still stay in a relationship with you and allow it. And if I've dated somebody like that when I was older who did that, and the girl wanted to fight me, and I didn't want to fight her at all. I was praying to God, please don't let this woman hit me or swing on me, because if she did, I'm going to have to beat her down. But I didn't want to fight her because she wanted to fight over him. If it has something to do with fighting a woman over a man, I just couldn't see me doing it. I thought that was the low of the low, and I thought too highly of myself. I had too much self-respect, and I was too dignified for that. So you have to understand that the reason why you don't relate to Nicki Minaj is her decision making process and how she thinks and feel about herself is what influences how she writes. It's what influences the things that she do. So you have to think that. So this is why you guys think that she's stuck up, and it has nothing to do with her thinking that she's better than you or anybody. She just knows that she's better than a situation that's trying to bring her down. And I want you guys to see that because she's still a woman and she went through a lot. She went through a lot. She came here from Trinidad. She grew up here. She was bullied. She went through a lot. Her father was abusive, beating up on the mom, burned the house down, everything. She is a girl. Like, she was a girl like we were girls, and she went through a lot. But she told herself, she knew deep down inside that she was better than that. So I want you guys to start challenging yourselves to think a little bit differently. The other thing is that a lot of you easily believe the lie. But let me tell you the psyche of some people. Some people are master manipulators and they know how the masses think. See, some people automatically think that if you telling a lie about a person, if everything you're saying is a lie, 100% of everything you said is a lie, most people are going to say everything that person is saying cannot be a lie. Like, maybe some things they're lying about or embellishing about, but some of that stuff have to be true. The natural mind will never believe that a person is going to tell 100% lies about somebody, because people are like, who just does that? Who makes up things, completely makes something up about a person if some of it isn't true? And what you don't realize is that people who set people up, they thrive off of that thing. They thrive off of the psyche of human beings who don't believe that a person can just make up lies about somebody else. A natural human being will say, no, some of it has to be true. But the person who told the lie knows that 100% of it is a lie. None of it is true. But they know that people struggle with that, because people can't fathom that somebody could be that wicked, that people can just do that. Like, no, you just can't just make up a lie out of. So where did you get that from? It had to come from somewhere. That's typically what people say. And I want you guys to start challenging yourself about that. When you hear things about people and you see a wave moving, don't go with the flow. Be your own flow. Create your own destiny. Create your own path. Do some research and you'll see. And those are things that black women go through. The other thing is that when Nicki Minaj tells the truth, see, you guys say you love the truth, but what I realize with the masses is that you love the truth. You only love the truth that you're willing to listen to. And a lot of times the truth that you're willing to listen to is riddled with lies. It's riddled with deceit. So it's still covering up some things. So it's not really a whole truth. But it is a truth to a certain extent, because it was made a factor. So it is a truth. Anytime someone speaks truth that you haven't thought of or you're not willing to face, you automatically demonize that individual. But when I listen to the people that you guys are saying that's telling the truth, I'm like, are you serious? This person is not really telling all the truth. They're telling fractions of a truth. And the type of truth that they're talking about is really petty stuff. It's not, when it comes on the grander scale of things, if you want to prioritize it, it's like on a lower level. It's not really that serious or that important. And that's the other issue that the masses have with truth seekers and truth tellers, is that a person who seeks the ultimate truth is usually going to be speaking from a place that people don't want to see revealed. And that's why you choose to demonize and villainize some people. And that's the space in which Nicki Minaj stands in. The other thing I want you guys to realize is that Nicki Minaj is also shifting a lot of paradigms in the music industry. Right? And that's why that whole wave was set to attack her to try to get her out of the way. She's the reason why you guys, the artists are getting paid for stream services. See, when music began to get streamed online, you had these services that will charge you, Spotify or whoever would charge you per month to stream services. But when they charge you, they never paid those artists. So they created the stream services and they got clients, they got customers that they're charging, but then they never gave a kickback to any of those artists. So Nicki Minaj saw that as another avenue to make money. And she was one of the first people to say, wait a minute, that's our music. So you're charging people to listen to your platform of our music, but that's my music. You got to pay me in order to stream my music on your platform, to charge a customer to listen to your platform. It was her who started that. So see, there's a lot of people that don't like her because, she's looking out for her interests, which she's only right. Why would you not like Nicki for wanting to get paid? Why would you not like her for wanting to get paid? And those are the things that we need you guys to really, really pay attention to, and don't be so easily misled when you hear certain things, and you got to think that when a woman is being portrayed as the angry black woman, you get yourself in the mode of thinking there has to be other things that's going on. There has to be other things that's going, because I'm telling you guys, you guys are doing your sisters such a great service, a great disservice when you go against and you attack your sisters. And this is why women are black, especially black women, are highly stressed, because black women feel like there's no sisterhood for us to go to, turn to rest our head, to, have someone who can listen to us, have someone who can say, no, you know what, we're going to stand here and fight with you. Black women don't have much of that. We don't. We don't, because the world is showing us that we are not important. We don't matter, and I think some of us pay attention to the times or the moments when the world allow us to matter, and those are the times when they're the women march and feminist movements and things like that. When black women speak, they move out of the way and they let black women speak, because they know when we say certain things, we're speaking from a certain perspective of truth and with a certain level of passion, because we're ordering the drive for change. And you guys are not thinking that it seems as if you think that you're a part of the crew, but they only allowed you to be a part of a movement that's going to better serve them. Although you think you're going to be better served as well, here's how you know when you're actually considered and respected for the human being that you are. When the world and when white women and other women of other nationalities start including you in the decision